It's time to talk spoilers for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oi!
What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video, a spoiler review for Thor: Love and Thunder. So if you have not yet seen the movie, make sure leave a like, come back after you watch the movie. I'm joined by my great friend Trevor from Film Geeks. How you doing?
I've been better, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. We're gonna go full spoiler talk in Love and Thunder. The final spoiler warning: if you haven't seen it, click off and come back. Spoilers all over the place in 3, 2, 1. Real quick, what'd you think before we get into the spoilers?
Alright, I'm gonna be mean, I'm gonna be vulgar, and if you have a problem with bad language, cover your ears. I thought it was dog shit.
Yeah, it's definitely a lower tier MCU film, and it's a regress for me. I saw it once at the screening, and then I saw it again with you tonight. Second viewing, the movie fell drastically for me, which is just not what you want with a Marvel film.
Going into it, I get very excited for Marvel movies. I always got the Marvel magic, I always say, and you get excited, your chest is pounding. It's happened for Multiverse Madness, it's happened for Eternals.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, it's up to you. For Thor: Love and Thunder, I didn't have the magic. I was in the theater, sitting for the previews. I could have got up and seen any other movie and been fine. That's what was so bad about it. Something from it, from the mixed reviews, from just going into it, everyone's saying it's if you don't like Ragnarok all that much, then you're I like it. This makes Ragnarok look like a masterpiece.
Yeah, this actually made me appreciate Ragnarok a lot more.
So much more.
The main 3 issues I have with this movie, one of them, it's the absence of Gore the God Butcher, because you introduce him in the beginning of the film. It's like a 10-minute sequence where what's going on here? They made him somewhat developed. He lost his daughter, and the god that he worshipped kind of basically said, screw you. So they gave him some death, and then he's gone for 40 minutes in the movie, it feels like, and he takes a back seat. They call him Gore the God Butcher. He's this destroyer of all these gods, but they never show it, and we never see him actually, really enacting vengeance or really being that much of a menace, because his makeup design and Bale's performance are both fantastic, but we never see him as an actual menace that he's portrayed to be, and that bothered me. It
literally is more of the thought that, oh, he's Gore the God Butcher, he's gonna come after you, so be prepared. That's what the threat was.
Yeah.
It wasn't we really got to see him come out in action. When we did, he fought them. It was the action scenes just, to me, were just extremely lackluster. That's the word for this movie. Lackluster.
Yeah, very much so. And again, the stakes in the MCU currently feel so extremely low because we've had villains like Thanos. It feels almost predictable. From the moment Gore walked on screen, I kind of had a feeling that, okay, he's not going to make it out of here alive. And sure enough, he doesn't make it out alive. And by the end of this movie, we're all over the place. I don't care. We'll talk about a bunch of things. In the end, Gore the God Butcher, who was, the main threat, who wanted to kill the god and kill Thor, essentially has this moment where he is you know what? I'm going to bring my daughter back. I'm going to die in peace. And Thor, I want you to take over and be basically the new father for my daughter. And this was all because Jane, who had cancer during the movie, by the way, ended up passing away. And, she taught him about love, and so he was more accepting. And it was really? That's the route we're going here? It was laughably cheesy.
That's really well put, dude. You he took all the words out of my mouth and just portrayed them beautifully. Laughably cheesy. And speaking of laughs, they were few, far, and in between. In a Marvel theater is generally lively. There's a couple empty seats, pretty much sold out crowd. You're expecting the laughter, and for how much jokes and stuff. It literally felt like the parody of the play they do in Ragnarok, and they actually do it in this movie as well. When Matt Damon's playing Loki, they do that little parody. That's what the entire movie felt like. I didn't think it was funny. I think I laughed twice. And after that, I was pretty much rolling my eyes. And Jane Foster, you said it kind of she's always been overhyped, right? Yeah. She's always been a fine character. I never really had a problem with her. I never thought she was good nor bad. She was right in the middle, the okay tier, honestly. But her coming to mind Thor was good. And if she wasn't in this movie, it would have been worse. That's a fact, because they gave this movie a little more heart and depth and some emotion. Yep. And we got to see more emotion out of Thor. They gave her the most cheesy dialogue ever. And I get that's supposed to be part of the shtick and the gimmick, but we shouldn't be having a shtick and a gimmick. The Taika Waititi train has run its course for me. I'm off the Taika train. Yep. His acting as Korg, that character is just unfunny to me now. It's happened in Free Guy, and it's just anytime he pops up, he's doing the same bit over and over, and it's this was more original and fresh in Ragnarok. Now it feels like a rehash and repetitive and parodying something that was once actually pretty great and original, because we had a character in Thor who was very serious, and then they made him humorous, and now it's they've gone 10 times overboard with it, and it's just really unfortunate to see. And Ragnarok, to me, has jokes that are genuinely funny.
Yeah.
This one has almost just bits. That's what it felt like every time they were supposed to be.
No, yeah, it's they were setting up, every single line of dialogue was setting up for a big show to try and make us laugh, but there were crickets in the audience, and they wasted characters in this movie. I felt Valkyrie was extremely sidelined here, but most importantly, the Guardians of the Galaxy are barely in this movie.
They don't even come back. They don't even come back. They're in the beginning, and they're we're gonna go save our people. They don't even come back to say, hey man, Good job on saving people. Now they're not even there.
No.
Makes no sense. I'm sorry. The best Thor 4 movie would have been the Thor, like I should have said Thor, and the Asgardians of the Galaxy. 100% combined movie.
Because they montage through a lot of things that would have been awesome to see. Thor training to get fit again. Thor kicking ass with the Guardians around the Galaxy.
2-second clip.
That's the Thor 4 movie I wanted to see.
Yep.
And what we got was just a shell of something that could have been great, unfortunately, because again, the pacing was even weird. Like, it flew by, but it felt like this whole movie, let's go to a different location. So essentially, it opens on this planet, and then we got Thor in this badass scene with Welcome to the Jungle, which I'm not gonna lie, the soundtrack of this movie is elite. Like, I got chills when he was, kicking ass. But that happens, and then it leads to this goofy scene of their land getting destroyed. Then he goes to another planet to try and find Sif. They're like, oh, we gotta go to New Asgard. Oh, we gotta go to Omnipotent City. And oh, Zeus is here, which, by the way, that whole sequence, Russell Crowe's a legendary actor, but Zeus's character was like atrociously bad.
Laughably bad.
It was like cringe.
I get secondhand embarrassment very easily, and I had.
I looked over.
I literally was like I had my hat over my eyes. The entire movie was a waste of potential.
Yeah.
And it literally seemed like it was about 2-hour, 25-minute movie, and they said, "Nah, man, you gotta get this under 2 hours."
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. I can't believe this is a story that went.
They were sprinting to the finish line. There's like 3 fake deaths in the movie. It drives me crazy. Zeus gets a thunderbolt thrown through his chest by Thor. He's alive in the post-credit scene. Korg gets killed by the rocks. Oh, it turns out my face is the only thing that's alive. And I didn't know I had that in me. And then Valkyrie gets stabbed and lives, and it's like, are we gonna have consequences in these movies anymore?
Should have been 3 deaths from.
Are there going to be consequences in these movies anymore?
No.
There never is, and I'm sick of them doing the same shtick over and over. Have final consequences. They killed Jane Foster, but at that point, it was inevitable, unfortunately.
Positive territory.
Okay, let's talk about some things we like as well.
The beginning opening scene, the action's awesome, but you said the death of Jane Foster was obviously like, oh, the only death in the movie, really. And I thought that was kind of like, why send her off? We already had her sent off.
Yeah.
Felt kind of unworthy, but like again, the movie would have been even worse without her in it. The post-credit scenes, the second one where Jane goes up to Valhalla and she sees Heimdall, that gave me chills. I'm not lying, that was the best part of the movie to me.
It was very
I'm glad we stayed. I wanted to leave. I said to him, I'm good. He goes, just stay. It's good. And it was good. And I loved it. And then the first post-credit scene, our boy Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
He's here.
He's there. He's every fucking where. Roy Kent. Roy Kent.
Oi.
Honestly, I said, dude, you're gonna like this. Watch. And like it was basically Zeus talking the whole time, and then I was like, Roy Kent, baby.
Yeah.
Hercules, that's gonna be badass. That's gonna be Thor 5. Hercules coming after Love and Thunder because those are the main characters.
And what's crazy though is honestly it depends on the audience score. I don't know if it's gonna be high or low. I'm honestly gonna protect low 80s. But low 80s isn't great.
No.
If MCU movies get low 80s, you need like high 80s to 90s. If you get low 80s from audience, that's not all that great.
I think there's just a lot of stupidity in this movie. Like, there's goofy moments. For example, like at the end when Thor gives the power of himself to a group of kids and they fight Gore. It's like, I hate to be this nitpicky, but listen. Why, if he can do this, why couldn't he have done this in Endgame when they fought Thanos' army? Like, there's multiple moments where, like, it's almost like introducing a power late in the game, and it's like, well, that could kind of, you could retcon things in the past. Why didn't they do it there? And it's just like, because the MCU is getting so big, it's inevitable that we're going to have, little continuity type things like that, and it just sucks.
I don't know if maybe it was from the lightning bolt, maybe we're uncultured, but like maybe it's from the lightning bolt that he got from Zeus. Just whole shtick, even with the lightning bolt, was just stupid, man. It was just fucking stupid.
No, this whole movie, it's like, again, paper thin plot because it's going from point A to point B. There's no real structure to it. It's just, again, all over the place until the final battle. And I loved the visual decision of the black and white scene. I thought that was sick. But that was a super rush sequence as well. So I feel like the movie never really took its time. It was 2 hours. I'm not saying I wanted 2.5. But you could have done something with the actual writing and plot to make the plot, a little more intriguing and feel like there was more tension and stakes. Because to me, anytime, when Valkyrie got stabbed the first time, I was like, she's completely fine. Like, I don't even flinch. That's because the universe has gone back on itself, doubled back on itself so many times.
On safety. Like, that's all it is. Valkyrie, I would expect her to die, honestly. The entire movie I did. And if she died, I would have been like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, that gave us more of a punch.
Absolutely.
The action wasn't done great. It was just a schlock fest.
Underutilized Gore as your main villain.
Christian Bale's performance is great.
Yeah.
I want to start by saying that his performance is great, but like it's like you gave an A-list actor a grocery list dialogue. That's what or almost like a plot line for this character. Felt just silly, felt unwarranted. The entire movie it wasn't worthy.
If the crowd isn't hyped on a Thursday night opening showing of an MCU movie,
pretty much sold out.
That's just a bummer, guys. That's a bummer, and I think that this is just a sign of the times that I personally think we're all collectively, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, there's some degree of MCU burnout for every single MCU fan at this point. And for me, it just hit me like a train recently. I still love the MCU, and I'll always be excited for the new projects, but there's been a little bit of a quality drop-off in the later MCU films, unfortunately. and I just wish they would put a little more care to it and try and make it as great as some of those phase 1 through 3 projects that really resonate.
Hit it on the head, man.
Absolutely. So Thor Love and Thunder,
not for me.
Not my cup of tea. I actually think I prefer it more than Multiverse of Madness, but I never really think on it because the movie does go by fast. Hemsworth's doing his best. There's fun moments, but the overall plot and story, kind of disastrous at times. So it is what it is. I'm going to think on it more. I'll let you guys know. But what do you think of Thor Love and Thunder? Let us know in the comments down below. Spoiler-filled thoughts down there. Go subscribe to Trevor's channel, Film Geeks. That will be linked down below. He's got some Thor and Marvel videos coming very soon. Expect more collabs from the both of us. We'll probably stockpile those and have more coming out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and until next time, see you guys later.
We're leaving.